What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Finance and Freedom. My name is Todd, and today we're going to dive into a topic I've been wrestling with for a little while. Why I think it's finally time to sell MSTY. Yep, I'm actually going to pull the trigger on this one, and I'll walk you through exactly the reasons why. Let's jump in. So if you've been following MSTY lately, you probably already know that it's been a really rough ride lately. The price has been sliding day after day, and it's honestly gut-wrenching to watch. Now, of course, MSTY tracks MicroStrategy, the ticker symbol MSTR, which has also been taking a really big hit. So normally, a drop in the underlying stock wouldn't scare me out of a position. Volatility is just part of investing, right? Well, there's more to this story than just a simple price dip. Here's a screenshot of my actual MSTY holdings. Over the past few months, I'm down almost $18,000. That stings. To be fair, the dividends have helped cushion the blow. I've collected about $13,000 in payouts, so my net loss is actually closer to about $5,000. Still, not great. Not catastrophic, but not great. Losing money isn't really what bothers me the most though. It comes with the territory of investing. What really bugs me is the bigger picture. This has been a pretty incredible market lately. Tech has been ripping, indexes are pushing all-time highs, and plenty of growth names are crushing it. Yet, while almost all investors are making a bunch of money, I'm sitting here watching MSTY bleed. That's a problem. And when you zoom out to the charts, it doesn't look like this trend is going to stop anytime soon. Here's the key stat that pushed me over the edge. In the last 6 months, MSTR is up only about 13%. Might sound okay at first, but for MSTY's covered call strategy, it's not enough to sustain it. In that same time period, MSTY is down about 31%. The fund needs strong sustained growth from MSTR in order to support the monthly distributions. Without that growth, the net asset value, or NAV, is just going to keep on sliding. The dropping NAV means one thing for funds like this: reverse splits. Reverse splits are like putting on a bandage on a wound that's never going to heal. It may make the price look nicer for a temporary period, but the underlying value continues to erode if nothing changes. Now, some people will argue, Todd, if you bought MSTY early, you could have tripled your money. Well, yeah, that sounds great, and they're right. If you got in at the very start, you could be up around 225% in a year and a half, which is a fantastic return on paper. But here's the kicker. If you had bought MSTR instead, you'd be sitting about 354% gains over the exact same period. That's a huge difference. Roughly $13,000 on a $10,000 investment over the course of a year and a half. Yeah. So, why does this happen? Well, it comes down to the strategy, the covered call strategy that YieldMax uses in order to generate their monthly dividends. By selling covered calls, they create income, but they also cap the upside. When the underlying stock goes on an explosive run, like MSTR has done in the past several times, MSTY can't fully participate. So, you get the yield, but you sacrifice the moonshot gains. Now, to YieldMax's credit, they've done a great job of picking high volatility stocks like Coinbase, Robinhood, Tesla, Nvidia, and several others. But when those names rip, the strategy starts to feel like driving with a parking brake on. You're moving, but not nearly as fast as you could be. Here's another reason why I'm making the switch that I think a lot of people are going to overlook. In case you didn't know, crypto follows a 4-year cycle. And October officially kicks off what is historically the most explosive quarter of that cycle. Now, since MicroStrategy holds a massive amount of Bitcoin on its balance sheet, this timing is huge. If history repeats itself, and crypto often does, MSTR could be positioned for some massive gains in the next couple months. That kind of upside is exactly what MSTY's capped strategy struggles to capture. At first, I thought I might stay in MSTY and sell some covered calls to try and recoup part of my losses. But the problem with that is The ETF is on a steady downward path, and so the premiums for the covered calls are tiny. I'm looking at about $5 for every 100 shares with a strike price that's basically at the money. That's hardly worth the time, the risk, especially when I believe crypto is gearing up for some of the most incredible moves over the next few months. So I won't waste my time with babysitting call options and potentially miss out on some big upside that I'm expecting from MSTR and Bitcoin. So my plan is to wait just a day or two more before selling. Historically, MSTY tends to see a small recovery a couple days after the dividend distribution, which is on Friday. So before continuing its downward slide from there. So that puts me on watch for the next couple days or so. So I'll be keeping a close eye to see the best exit I can to recoup as much of my losses as possible. So after weighing all of this, here's where I landed. I'm selling all of my MSTY or MSTY shares and rolling that money directly into MSTR. Will I miss out on those nice monthly dividends? Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I'd rather own the rocket than the trailer that it's towing. If you're holding MSTY, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just my decision, what I think is going to be best based on my goals and my risk tolerance and what I'm seeing in the numbers. Maybe you're in it purely for the income and you're comfortable with the trade-offs. That's totally fine. And I do think there's a decent chance that you'll recover a decent amount of that money. For me, I see the writing on the wall and it looks like a downward trajectory. All right, so that's where I'm at. I'd love to hear what you think though. Are you sticking with MSTY or are you making a similar move? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more finance and investing videos just like this one. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks. One last thing that I forgot to mention. I just made a video on the best time to buy and sell Bitcoin. And the reason this is so helpful for this video is MSTR obviously correlates heavily with Bitcoin since MicroStrategy holds a ton of Bitcoin. And so actually using that same strategy for Bitcoin, you can actually time the best times to buy and sell MSTR. Anyway, hope that helps. Check out that video and I'll see you again next time. Thanks.